What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here, Lord Addict, coming at you with another Addict Show where we talk about the past, present, and future of gaming. I got Dirt, Griggity, and BitCloud Gaming. What's going on, guys? What you guys been playing here recently, man?
What's up, man? Oh, you go ahead, BitCloud.
All right, so I've been on Horizon lately. Been catching up on my backlog, finished some games. That's what I've been playing. And also,
it chose the craziest time for his camera to freeze. Look
Yeah,
at him,
yeah.
Dirt. Look at him.
Yeah, I see it,
Yo, someone screenshot that before it goes away.
Yeah, it froze.
What am I freezing? Oh,
when you see the last,
There you go.
I was about to start like memeing it when you
There
see
you
the
go, there
Last
you
of
go.
Us remake.
Anyway, okay, so Horizon, and then I got to look at my camera. I've been playing Horizon, finished that up, whatnot, playing my my backlog, finishing all these games up. Also, playing Master Duel on PC. That's what I've been pretty much playing, and yeah, having fun.
What you been doing, Dirt? Playing that Hot Wheel collection?
Yeah, I actually have. I played a little bit of that last night. Also been playing As Dust Falls, and I downloaded Stray, so I'm looking forward to checking that out after the podcast, man. So, I'm interested in that game. So yeah, that's about it, man. Yeah, as a cat, man.
Jumping around. Look, I ain't gonna say that Stray ain't gonna be a good game, but what is appealing on walking around as a cat? Like, someone explain this to me, please.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, bro.
I don't want no uh-ohs. I wanted someone to explain to me what looks appealing about playing as a cat.
You mad because that character got 9 lives? You only got 1 on your Xbox? That's what you trying to say? That what you trying to say?
Look, it's gonna have to have 9 lives because it looks 9 lives worth of boredom. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I saw someone playing and they're like walking through a library, and I'm just like, what? Like,
Artistically, it looks good. Looks really good. I mean, I didn't really understand.
Keep it real. If this was a game that isn't about a cat, it wouldn't be getting this much attention.
You think that's it?
I think that's it. Like, I don't think we get a lot of games about animals like that. Like that like most of them, they have like superpowers or something. Yeah. Like you literally walking around as a cat. I can't make this stuff up, and people are eating this up, man. They're eating this up.
Hey, man, I'm surprised too. I was surprised by the critical acclaim it was getting. It's got a lot of high praise, which is shocking.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna check it out when I get the chance to.
So I've been playing As Dust Falls this week. I don't know. Did any of you try that out? It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, great story so far. And I like those types of games. I just finished The Quarry, so I'm definitely loving this so far.
Yeah, so what about you, BitCloud? Or are you over there playing as a cat?
Neither, sir.
Neither.
Yeah, didn't play neither. So,
so like when it comes to As Dust Falls, like I will say that it is a pretty unique game. There are aspects to that game that I haven't seen in other type of point and click games. What's funny is I said in my review, I compared point and click games to something like The Walking Dead, Life is Strange. Some dude came with me with the longest paragraph in those comment sections saying, you know what, man, you know what we gonna do? We gonna read this comment live. Cause I didn't say nothing. Look, if you in the chat, this is some dumb stuff you said, man. But it is what it is. Yeah, I get it. If that's what you feel, I personally feel like this isn't the right thing. So keep in mind, I compared it to like The Walking Dead, Life is Strange, and he said point and click isn't accurate for Life is Strange or The Walking Dead. I get you meant choice-based games where the little gameplay beyond walking, but point and click is a specific term to not get it confused. Hopefully most will understand what you meant. I'm kind of confused. Like, would you guys consider The Walking Dead, what's that game? Firewatch, Life is Strange. I feel like those were point and clicks. Like, sure.
I agree.
In Life is Strange and The Walking Dead, you can walk a little bit.
Yeah,
walk
but
down
I agree
the
with
block
you.
for a couple seconds.
Yeah, you can't go far though in the game. It's like locked. You know what I mean? Like it's not open. It's
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
So, I'm not saying that the individual, maybe he's right technically, maybe that is a different genre, but to me, they all the point clicks. They all the point clicks.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree with you. I'm sorry. Even supermassive games are like point and clicks, kind of. Even though you can walk around a little bit, you're still kind of point and click. Yeah.
Supermassive just has like a bigger budget, kind of like Detroit or David Cage games that
Quantic Dream,
like Haunted, like Heavy Rain, et cetera, et cetera. Like there's only limits how far you can go, but again, there's a budget, there's a style to it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I did enjoy it. I think for those of you that want my detailed perspective on it, I do have a review out on the channel as Dusk Falls. I don't. Here it is. When I do reviews, I don't tell people a number. I don't give a 1 through 10 numeric number. It's pretty much like at the end, give you my opinions about it, and you can take those opinions and decide if you want to buy it yourself. I feel like too many numbers on these reviews are weaponized, so I don't do it. But if I were to give it like a number, it'd probably be like a 7, 8 out of 10. I don't think I think it uniquely aspect that is done that isn't in other of these point and click type of games, but I don't think it's anything like crazy special. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is like the outcomes of this game, the replayability, I ain't going to go back and play it because I'm not that kind of person, but I can understand people would go back and play this. Like what happens at the end of every chapter, it gives you like pretty much like a tree branch and shows you what this could have went. This goes
the different
up.
Paths.
Yeah. And once you get to the end of the game, the Outer Worlds. You beat the Outer Worlds, tells you stories on how everyone's like what happened to them. Well, it kind of has that in this, and you could see, this person had 5 different endings to their story. So I do see this game having a lot of replayability, and if you want to get like a significant other or a girlfriend or something into this type of games, and I do feel like this would be a good game to open up to because, there is fighting, man. Because how it goes is like you got your typical, we got a couple seconds to choose, and if people choose different things and there's not a majority, like I choose one, they choose the other, it will pick one of them random. But then you got these places in the game where you have to agree. Like there's no majority thing. Like there'll be like 3 options and you all have to agree on one option. So you will fight until you figure that out. And I like that because I think that's a good perspective of the game. But let's say we can't agree on something. It's called override system, where I can override their choices and make the story go my way. But then they can use their overrides to override my override. Now, I don't know if you could do it 3 times. But, that's a little bit logistics on the game, man. So we got to, first off, I'm sure some of you noticed Hustle isn't here. Hustle has decided he wants to take a little break from the podcast. Hope Hustle for the bright future, man. He's a great dude. But right now we're gonna have BitCloud in here to take his place. Hope it's like I said. At the end of the day, I don't even think it was like creative differences or something like that. Hustle just wanted to focus on his own content and stuff, and my hat's off to him, and I hope him the best future. And that's pretty much all we're going to speak on that. I don't want to think there's like some beef. Every time someone like leaves a podcast, people think that's beef.
They assume the
like
worst.
People think, oh man, there's about to be a diss track record. First off, I don't create music, so I couldn't diss track anyone. So you can like everyone in this podcast could leave my stuff 5 or 6 times, and I couldn't diss track any of them because I can't do that. I don't have the skills to do that. But like I said, wish Hustle the best. Well, definitely go over there and follow him on Twitter and stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and get on to the show, man. We got the Last of Us remake situation that we're gonna talk about. I'm sure BitCloud's gonna love that one. We got Xbox and Discord,
on it.
and we got Xbox and the Activision deal may be ending here soon. Maybe we'll get some information on that here in the next month and a half. So. What do you guys want to start, man? What do you guys want to start? You know what? I ain't asking you. We starting with the Last of Us situation. That's what we starting with. So for those of you that don't know what's going on with the Last of Us, I always assumed, that's just me, since they named it from The Last of Us to The Last of Us Part 1, that they were going to like brawl back the gameplay a little bit to mimic more of The Last of Us Part 2. Now, I know that was all speculations, and I know that the leak that we're saying is speculation. But, you know, for the most part, up until now, it's been looking like they're charging you full retail price for just an up-res version of the game that has better, better textures, better pop-ins. Like the game does look drastically different. Don't let people tell you this game doesn't look different than the Xbox One version. Not the Xbox One, the PS4 version.
PS4.
So
That's
first thing,
one version. Damn.
yeah, you get what I'm saying, man. So what I want to talk about is this leak that happened that said that apparently the game's out in the wild. Keep in mind that this game went gold a couple weeks after it was after that little thing happened with the release date.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of curious that they didn't show gameplay with a game that's going gold. Why didn't you show the gameplay? So that makes me kind of think the leak is real, because I do feel like we're at a point where we know what the game is. Why are you hiding the gameplay?
Yeah.
Because it's I wouldn't say, I don't think it's like false advertising or anything. That it's like strategic advertising. You know it's a bad income, so you don't want to show that version of the game
too, though. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen this game already. We played it twice. You know what I mean? PS4 and 3. So you would think that would be like one of the big highlights you would show off. Like, I don't know, a dodge mechanic or the prone mechanic, if that is going to be added in this. It's one of those things where you're just like, okay, Sony, I would like you to be a little bit more transparent with this. And then you got people going, oh, well, read the blog. Yeah, I read the blog. The blog said it was going to have updates. The blog said it was going to be using haptics and everything. You know, everything that you would expect to go with that $70 price tag. But nothing that confirms you're actually going to have new mechanics such as prone, such as dodge, or the weave feature, whatever you want to call it. They did say that when you change or upgrade your guns, that it happens dynamically like it does in Last of Us 2, that you can fabricate whatever parts. So that is going to be incorporated in the game. So that's cool. So that gives me a little hope that you will see this stuff in here. But at the same time, it is worth noting to be a little mindful of what you're getting yourself into. And keep in mind, too, it's not like it's $40. This is $70. This is the full retail price, and it doesn't come with factions. And I remember I said this when it first revealed, and dudes like, "Oh, who needs that? We got factions coming out next year." I'm like, we're talking about overall value here, and we don't even have a set release date for when they're going to reveal the multiplayer for Factions 2 next year. It makes sense to have factions to tie you over. That way you can get more in tune with the game, know what you're getting yourself into, and then go into Factions 2's multiplayer, which is going to be its own separate thing. But I digress. That's just how the internet is.
Yeah, I actually think that's a fair analysis of the situation. I will say that when it comes to something like this, it seems a little shady marketing to me. Like I said, strategic marketing where the outcome's going to be negative towards you. You don't want to come out openly and say that. You kind of want people to either wait till the last minute to open up this type of game, or they're finding out when they're playing the game. Because they are offering you a game that was released years ago, and they're offering it to you with half the game if you want to consider like the multiplayer, the other half of the game. And so one would think that the price would be lower, and not to mention, since it's there's no multiplayer in it. Yeah. It's an old game too. Sometimes when these type of games are remade, they come back at a fraction of the cost, like $40. And not only is they remade half of the game, but they brought it back to a point where it's just like they renamed the name for some reason. And now people are straight up, tagging Naughty Dog, asking them, "Is this true? Or we're not going to have these new mechanics in the game? That's what's in The Last of Us Part 2." And Naughty Dog's not responding. So
I mean, they got to. Have you seen the replies? Like, dudes are flat out saying, "Listen, if it doesn't have XYZ, I'm not buying this game." They're flat out telling you on Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah, people are saying that on Twitter. So, listen, man, it's a slippery slope. It's thin ice, man. You have to be very careful how you tread on that. Are you not going to incorporate the stuff? Is it going to be incorporated? If it is, now's the time to say yes or no. Now's the time.
How do you feel about this, Derek? Is this something that you even care about? Like, I know we've talked about The Last of Us, and I know you've seen interested, but I don't think I've ever got simply if you're gonna buy this game. What's your thought process in this whole situation with The Last of Us Part 1?
First off, let me say that I love The Last of Us. I bought it for the PS3. I bought it for the PS4. Excuse me.
Did you platinum it though?
No, I don't platinum anything, brother. I just play it, and even on Xbox, I don't platinum nothing. Well, 100% nothing. No, so I didn't platinum anything, but I love the game. Am I going to buy it? I have to be honest. No, unless it shows that there are some big improvements besides graphically, because obviously it looks better than the original PS3 and the PS4 remaster. So I'm just kind of like in a wait and see mode if they're going to show some type of gameplay, because the game is set to release September or something, right? 9th?
September 9th, yeah.
Yeah. So that's still a couple months away. If they're going to show some actual gameplay before then, that's kind of the mode I'm in. So we don't know if this leak is absolutely true. Possibly. See, like Big Cloud said, a lot of people were asking Naughty Dog questions online, and they really haven't responded yet. And some people are kind of like, look, man, if this stuff is true, I don't know if I'm going to buy the game. So this is an interesting topic. But me personally, I'm more in just wait and see mode, because I'm not going to say I'm super excited for the game, even though I love the franchise. But like I just said, it's not going to be anything new as far as story wise. So I'm just going to sit back and wait, man, and wait to see what happens.
Yeah. There might be like Abby scenes at the end or something like that, just to continue the continuity at the end of it. And you might see like the doctor change. You know what I'm talking about? Like how they change it for
absolutely.
They might do that, but I can't piece together anything that would absolutely add to this, because Left Behind is already confirmed to be in this. So
I finished that already too on the PS3 day. Yeah.
So you're getting Left Behind, you're getting the base model game. So I'm just like, okay, that's cool. That's great. Yeah. Game looks great, but come on, Sony. Come on, Naughty Dog. Where's Factions? That would have shut up so many people. I'm telling you. People are like, okay, I'm getting all this. We got this too. All maps, all weapons. You think anybody would complain? No, you get the full package. But
that'll have been worth it, yeah.
Now it's just like, no, that's ripped from the game, and they pulled The Last of Us 2 legit. Because remember, Last of Us 2 didn't have factions.
Right.
So my question to you guys is, if Faction comes out and it's a free to play, that's okay. But once a Faction comes out and it's like $30,
I mean, that's going to be that's not really. It's kind of a different story, because Factions.
It's a different story, but I feel like it makes The Last of Us Part 1 even look worse. Like they wanted you to pay $60-$70 for The Last of Us Part 1, 2. They want you to pay $60-$70 for Last of Us Part 2, and they want you to pay $30 for Factions, which in all sense of reality, that game mode should have been in all those games that I just mentioned.
Well, what I was getting ready to say, what made them look crazy and shady is if that does happen, right? Like Factions does get revealed, and let's say it's free to play, or it does have a price tag on it, and then they come out with a bundle with that game and Last of Us. You see what I'm saying? Like, you get the ultimate experience. Then I would say that would be like the ultimate shady thing I've ever seen. But Factions 2, from what we remember, it's going to be its own separate, like,
that's what I'm expecting.
It's a game. Yeah, it's a game by itself. It's in a different like area. It's different characters. So they're doing something completely ambitious.
I'm expecting something totally new with the new Factions.
If they call it 70, I hope it's not 70.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah,
I hope it's not 70.
Yeah. But 70. I'm just expecting something totally new. It seems like they're building it from the ground up. They've been working on it for a couple years. So I'm expecting the new multiplayer to be just something totally different, something bigger than the previous Factions. That's what I'm expecting. And will it be free to play? Who knows? Who knows? But I'm expecting it to be a big deal.
Yeah, I can see it being free to play and open the PC, just with Sony's new focus on PC gaming. They just dropped those new headsets and those monitors. Yeah. They're pretty much prepping everybody. Yeah. Listen, the next step, if you want that option, is PC, and you're getting this. And I don't know if y'all paid this to this new Spider-Man trailer that they did for Insomniac.
Yeah,
for PC. You seen it?
Yeah,
they were like really saying, "Yo, listen, this is the true ultimate experience." Yeah, I'm like,
I saw.
Sony's not playing around. They're like, "Listen, if you want the true ultimate experience, it ain't on console; it's on PC. That's why they just dropped these monitors for you. I'm telling you, they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
And
they do,
dudes
man.
want to not listen. They want to go day and date or blah, blah, blah. It's not happening. I'm like, listen, I'd be shocked by the end of this generation if we don't see day and date of some sort, whether it be multiplayer or single player.
Yeah.
Multiplayer makes more sense, though, if we're being more strategic. They're having the live service games, the 10 that's going to be in development. That's what they said. So we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll definitely.
And Big Cloud, I agree with you because think about The Last of Us Part 1. When they announced it was coming to PC, not the same day, but they already announced it is coming to PC. So the future, I think, is pretty obvious. And I give Sony kudos for it because they're like, look, man, this industry is evolving and we have to evolve with it.
Yeah. Bam. Sony doesn't want to be in that predicament where it's literally just PlayStation, you know what I mean? And that's the only thing they gotta rely on. Then they gotta worry about meeting deadlines. Cause y'all remember PS3 deadlines was even tougher to make for that because there's so much on them developers. They talk about that like it's the horror stories. Now they're on cloud 9. They can pretty much, they're selling like hotcakes. They're guaranteed to sell. It makes more logical sense just to really take advantage of that. And when you have stuff like the MCU really pushing your brand at this point with Spider-Man by itself, I mean, logically, it just like, listen, you wanna branch out. That's why that conference or that little that conference that Jim had where he was talking about PlayStation beyond the box, where you saw the ecosystem very similar to Xbox, where it's PlayStation's the center point, then you got mobile, you got console, PC, all that junk. Like that's what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and people just don't want to accept it. But listen, it's going to happen. So prepare to change your content at some point. It's going to happen. I don't know why people keep fighting this. Like, oh, it's not going to happen. It's bad enough, dude. You're saying PC is not a platform. Listen, it ain't that deep.
And you know what? It's not, because I remember vividly in 2016, there was some Xbox guys that lost their mind when Xbox announced, their games are, our games are going to PC day one. And some people lost their minds. Xbox guys got over it. Me personally, I never cared. I play on console. That's all I care about. Just continue to put the games on console. So some of the PlayStation guys that still, kind of upset because PlayStation is putting their stuff on PC, trust me, brother, you can still play it on your PS5. Nothing's going to change. It's just it's going to be on PC. Who cares, man?
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
It's a wrap at that point. And, dudes acting like I'm going to jump the PC. Here's the thing. They don't care. Jump the PC. They got you covered.
Buy the game.
Just go ahead and go there.
And you know what's funny? People will say that stuff like that. I'm going to jump to PC and play their games over there.
They're still on console.
They make more money off that game than they do off selling you that PlayStation. Like, it is what it is. When it comes to me in this situation, I do feel it's a little sketchy. I do feel like, that factions, the reason I brought up the factions in that kind of scenario is because I do feel like there should have been a factions in Last of Us Part 2. There should have been a factions in this remake. And then the branded out factions they're doing now, that should happen. Because the difference between The Last of Us Part 2 and now is we kind of felt like, all right, we're getting a Last of Us Part 2 factions, but it's going to be a later kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But now it looks like it was a completely new experience. So that on that side note it's like, were they even having this on the table back then? Like, what was this even in development at that time? Or because they got the backlash that they got, did they put it in development at that time?
That's a good question.
Not only that too, though, you got to think about these leaks, man. The leaks by itself pretty much killed Last of Us Part 2 for a good chunk. It pretty much killed it. Like, once the story leaked, all the crazy twists and turns got leaked. A lot of people were turned away from Last of Us Part 2. I was surprised that it sold around 10 million. I think that's what they said. It was like around 10. Yeah, 10. Same as Ghost of Tsushima. Now, mind you, Ghost of Tsushima was brand spanking new, and it's IP. Yeah. This did 10 million, and this was the sequel to one of their biggest selling games, period. Last was one. It didn't do much money. So I don't know, man. It's weird. It's a weird situation. Now, does that excuse us not having factions in this game? No. And anybody making excuses saying, we don't need it, you're out your mind. You should be the main one saying, we need that. Because ain't nobody playing on that PS4 version. Nobody wants to go back and play that PS4 version. We want the new up to date one. You know what I mean? With with the PS5, no load times. I would take that any day of the week over what we got with the PS4 factions. But you know how people are, man. For everybody who speaks logical, there's always that one. I ain't gonna say this.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on a little bit to the factions. Specifically. Now, obviously, we know stuff's going on with the factions. We know that it's in development. We know it's probably going to come out sometime next year. Are you guys a little worried that it's most likely going to have that free-to-play model? And maybe, because I know a lot of people was upset with the way that they handled the factions and Last of Us, the factions and Uncharted 4 gameplay, where there's a lot of, like, weird microtransactions that was going on there. Do you think Naughty Dog might try to, amp that type of practice up in this factions if it is a free-to-play model?
The only fear that I would have for that is them putting weapons behind that, like they did in Factions 1. I don't know if y'all remember, like the crossbow and all that stuff. All that stuff kind of broke the game because it added new mechanics like bleed and stuff like that. I don't think weapons should be locked behind a paywall.
So
if anything,
cosmetics.
make it cosmetic. Yeah, make it cosmetics.
Yeah.
Go all out. Kind of like do it like, Rocket League, right? Remember how Rocket League was free to play? And then it like really blew up, it's mostly cosmetic stuff you can buy and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Do that. And if you need to, then you can add other stuff down the road. Like, for example, you being able to play as Joel or Ellie or something like that. Or you can sell characters if you want to, really push the customization, kind of like Call of Duty. Remember how they put those legacy characters in the game? You can buy a legacy character you can play as, like Makarov or something like that. You can do something like that.
No. They had Rambo one time too, didn't they?
Yeah,
you can have Rambo.
Yeah, you can play as legacy characters or characters from other games. Why not throw legacy Naughty Dog characters in there? I would pay
Nathan Drake,
yeah, you can throw Nathan Drake, Jack and Daxter. Why not be creative with this multiplayer? And I could definitely get behind that.
I think if it's free to play, I think that's a given that they're going to have, some type of microtransactions. And I'm the type, I don't have a problem with microtransactions as long as it's not pay to win. I just don't care, man.
Yeah.
Even if a game is full price, listen, what other people spend their money on is their prerogative. I can care less as long as it's not pay to win. That's just how I feel about it. So if this game is going to be a free to play game, which is definitely possible, yes, I'm fully expecting some type of monetization with the game. Absolutely.
Yeah, I hope they don't add perks as well. Now now that I thought about that, they put weapons and they put perks behind the paywall in the original faction. I remember this? Like you can heal faster, move faster, all that stuff.
I don't remember that. But why they did all that?
There was a few perks. You can move faster and crouch like that. That's behind the paywall.
Mm-hmm.
So a few. So yeah, even executions.
That right there. Now that's pay to win right there.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah, definitely don't want
I've mentioned it before. Like I'm a big fan of the way Destiny does their microtransactions, where you can't necessarily get a lot of the stuff that is current, but you can get a lot of the past stuff. So like for instance, like season passes, you in season 2, you could buy the new season 2 stuff. But they have an in-game currency that you can get the season 1 stuff slowly, because they'll pretty much roll it out to you in small groups. Like here's 2, here's 1. There's a new emote that you might be able to get. That's the way I would prefer cosmetics, because especially if you're buying a game, and a lot of these games slowly rotate from a paid model to a free-to-play model. I do feel like there are a huge amount of people that aren't going to be able to really invest a whole lot into the game financially. So to keep them people playing, make them play longer. Let them have access to the same stuff eventually, because in my opinion, the whales are going to buy this stuff regardless if they can get them eventually. They don't want to wait for them. They want to get them now because they like what they see now. It's at that point, it's an impulse buy. And I don't think just because a whale knows that they can get it 6 months from now is going to stop them from buying it then.
Yep.
I think they're still going to buy it. And that's the only thing that I hope they do, is they have a little bit more of an equal thing when it comes to stuff like that. I can't stand when developers get too greedy with everything free to play. Like, it's like, look, man, like, reward people for playing your game maybe not just as much, because they're keeping the bills on realistically, than the people giving you money for cosmetics. but reward the people playing your game too. Like don't forget one over the other. But let's move on to Xbox and Discord.
Discord.
I woke up this morning. First off, people ask me, Addict, why don't you put up the pre-link before the podcast starts? Because usually I do it the night before or the morning of. But little birdie told me yesterday not to. Said I'd have something to talk about today. So I was all right. So I didn't put it up. I went to sleep. And when I woke up, huge news, Discord and Xbox have a partnership. And not only is this a partnership, this isn't we're just going to put the app on your store, and if they want to download it, they can go look at like the posts and stuff. This is a full integration to the Xbox ecosystem where you can actually join Discord calls
On your
like
console.
you naturally would an Xbox Live party. And I think that's big. That's huge.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let Big Cloud go last because he's a PlayStation dude. He Dirt gets royalty on the Xbox topic. So, what was your thought process when you saw this, Dirt? And is this something that even applies to you? Because I do feel like a lot of Xbox people, they're not going to really care too much of this because they play on Xbox primarily. But I do feel like if we're going more towards a free to a cross-play, cross-progression model where everything is cross-play, cross-progress.
Yes.
Like we do need Discord to be active on all the platforms. Like
Absolutely.
PlayStation needs to do it, Nintendo needs to do it. That way when we play stuff like Fall Guys, PlayStation doesn't have to join an Xbox Live party. They could join there's like a middle ground. Everyone could just join the Discord call and then we'll be fine. We don't have to they don't have to mingle with each other's wires, if that makes sense.
Right. No, I love it, man. And you know what? This actually has affected me before. Actually, recently, last weekend or 2 weeks ago, my boy Shaun 786, Dut, he was live streaming Fall Guys and Halo Infinite. And by me playing on my console, I had to be on Discord on my phone. And it was like, Derek, you sound like crap. So I'm on my phone, man. I don't know what to tell you. So nowadays it's going to be integrated into the console. I think that's huge, man. That's huge. And you made a perfect example of cross-play games. And even there's some people that's really comfortable using Discord. All right, there are some people that love to use Discord over Xbox Live parties. And you can get how many people in Discord? Is there a limit? What's the limit you can get people in Discord?
I think it just depends on what the Discord server says. And
Okay, I got you. Okay.
I do think there is a limit. I don't think you can have 700 in one Discord.
Right.
server.
Yeah, no. I think the max I've seen is like 20 something, maybe close to 30. But that depends also if the server is boosted, if I remember correctly. I think that also helps.
Okay.
You boost the server.
But it is more than 16, the standard Xbox Live 16, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's a lot of people in one party. But yeah, I think it's good, man. Any new perk or any new thing that I'm going to use, or even if I don't use, just a bonus to gamers in general, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation or even Nintendo. I love it, man. I love it. Even if, like I said, even if it's something I'm not going to use, there's somebody else that will use it. So yeah, I love it, man. And kudos to Xbox for actually getting this done.
I think it's good. We do need that middle ground. I feel like when you play Fortnite, there are games, believe it or not, that don't have voice chat. I don't know why you would.
It's crazy in
release
2022
games without voice chat. I don't think Battlefield had voice chat when it first came out.
It didn't. That's true. It didn't. Yeah.
That's a AAA product. They don't have voice chat.
I forgot about that.
Minecraft doesn't either, to my knowledge, because I remember trying to play voice with someone on PlayStation, and it wouldn't let me. You can't hear them. We had to join a Discord call, and that's why I feel like this is a huge win for everyone. Now, obviously, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth on the Discord thing, but let's bring PlayStation into the picture. Big Cloud, do you? Well, first off, Big Cloud, get your opinions on the Discord thing in general. Then we'll move to the PlayStation thing.
Well, first of all, nobody hardly uses the in-game voice chat as it is on these consoles. So the fact that we got this as a better alternative is dope. I'm surprised Sony doesn't have this. That's what I thought they were going to have when they said they were doing that whole kind of like merger thing where you can like see who's playing what on Discord if you link it with your PSN or something like that. I thought they were going to do something like that where you can just naturally do that, but no, they didn't do that. You just see what they're playing. That's about it. It doesn't tell you anything else about that account. So that's cool though. It's dope. You can actually do this, and also it's more convenient for a lot of us because a lot of us really do hang out mostly in our custom servers. So
absolutely,
if you want to get away from like a certain crowd on your place or your Xbox in this case, like you don't want to be bothered or nothing like that, you don't have to worry about that. You be legit in your own server and have that and also like a direct link to your friends. You really think about it. You invite only people you close to that particular server, and then bam, you're done. So that right there is, again, it's a quick way of getting to like your top, let's say 10, 50 friends or just people you rock with in general. And that's actually pretty cool.
Yep.
Hopefully Sony was to do something like that.
We'll get to that
we'll see. I don't know.
You know, one thing I will say that I respect Microsoft for is their ability to put their ego aside. You know, Skype clearly is what they run the Xbox servers on when it comes to the voice chat. I'm pretty sure it's still Skype. So it's just, I mean, they might have switched to the Teams. I don't know. But right now I'm thinking it's Skype. You know, they could easily just keep going on that and have that mentality where it's like, look, if you want to listen and talk with our Xbox community, you got to use the Skype servers by joining the Xbox parties. But Microsoft's like, we'll go where they are. Our customers want to be integrated into the Discord, so we're going to do that. And what I like is how in-depth the integration is. Like, when you join a Discord party, it looks like an Xbox Live party, but it has the Discord emblem instead.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that, man. And, you know, we'll go ahead, like I said, we'll bring the PlayStation perspective into it. Like, what do you guys think? If time frame, if you think they will adopt the same thing into the PlayStation system, what kind of time frame? And if you don't, they clearly just say no. Dirt, what you thinking?
I think it depends on how successful it is on Xbox. I think Sony pays attention. Obviously, they pay attention to everything that's going on. And if it kind of takes off on Xbox, I'm sure Sony would do. I mean, it's probably in the plans now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't do it for whatever reason as far as the voice chat part of it, the full integration. But yeah, absolutely, man. If it goes over well on the Xbox side, I guarantee PlayStation would do it also. As far as time frame, who knows, brother? Maybe a year, 2 years, maybe.
Well, it's taken them like 8 years to get gifting going. So
shit.
Oh god, I don't think you ever can get gifting.
It's kind of
I don't know,
crazy.
unless the PC thing the day and date thing happens immediately, then that's why I think the gifting will be officially incorporated. But right now, the fact that you have a wish list for the sake of having a wish list is kind of pointless to me.
So Big Cloud, what are your perspective and your opinions on if Sony going to jump on this eventually, and if they're not, do you think that they're going to?
I mean, again, Dirt said it perfectly. If it depends on the popularity, if it's really, really like a success, and everybody's like talking about it, and there's a lot of like discussion, whether it be on Twitter or in forums, then yeah, I could see Sony jumping on board. Maybe take 1 to 2 years to respond to get something
1 to
like
2
this.
years, Jesus.
Maybe
the generation gonna be almost over by the time they respond.
Hey, you know how the thing about Sony, you think Sony's gonna react the way you would expect, right? But then they move on their time. Look at Nintendo. Nintendo is the only one out of this group that will never have Discord on their system.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
And they can care less.
Exactly. And people are still going to buy that console because it's a handheld. And they're going to make excuses. They're going to say, well, it's a handheld. I do blah, blah, blah. I don't need voice chat. But it's like, if you had it, you'd be praising it.
Yeah.
You know
you're right. So you're absolutely right, bro.
That's how it is. So,
like I said, listen, man, they pay attention and they move. See, even if you go back to the PS3 generation, like we all know, they didn't release with trophies, but they saw the gamer score was, okay, so let's implement our own little version of it. So they pay attention. Excuse me. They pay attention to everything, and if it takes off, they're going to add it. Guarantee it.
You want my
A
honest
lot to
opinion?
about that. No. That's a play. Go ahead.
For some reason, I feel like the PlayStation wasn't built for something like this, like the back end, the software end. Obviously, Sony could probably restructure a lot of it to incorporate this into it, but I do feel like Microsoft most time have edges when it comes to incorporating stuff onto their stores. It feels like the Xbox One, throughout that whole generation, they redesigned it to be more adaptable. You know what I'm saying? Where if they needed to redirect something or make something look different, it was a lot easier, it looks like, because Microsoft does it so often. But when it comes to PlayStation, but when it comes to PlayStation, we still don't have gifting. You know, there's a lot of features that people want that's on Xbox that's not on PlayStation. And the fact that gifting is such an easy concept, but they haven't done yet, makes me feel maybe they didn't design the PSN to be adaptable like that. Maybe they have to go in and it takes a lot more work than something like Microsoft doing it to Xbox, so that's why they don't do it. Because if you look at it from, like, when you see the updates on PlayStation, they might add something to it or tweak something, but it's never drastic. You know what I'm saying? Like, they never drastically change anything on that dashboard. They just will, you know, move something somewhere or update something, but you never see anything huge being changed on that. So that's what makes me feel like, you know, unless it's huge priority, I don't think that, you know, they're willing to put the resources and time into something like that. But Discord's a huge thing. And if people start talking about Xbox a lot because they feel like they have more access to their friends, they have more access to playing games with people because you have access to Discord, then that might be something that makes it a priority where they're willing to do something with Discord.
Yeah. We know you're not going to be in Discord, Addict, so we ain't even going to put you in there.
I will be in Discord because Xbox BitCloud has gave me the opportunity to go with Discord.
But watch Addict's World on ILP be empty every single day.
It is empty every single day. It's drier than a desert.
It's going to be even drier.
It's drier than a desert in there. And that's one of the reasons, because like all my friends are on Xbox, and you know, I might jump in Discord every now and then when I'm bored. I got to be bored before I jump in Discord. Like, I got to be bored. Like, damn near nothing else to do before I jump in Discord. But, you know,
it'd be like 5 o'clock when you decide to jump in, or 4. You'd be dead on the mic jumping in Discord.
I hope PlayStation does adapt this, and I hope Nintendo does eventually. Because I do feel like if all the major platforms has Discord where everyone can integrate with, then you'll see more crossplay, more cross progression. I don't think crossplay and cross progression are going to go down. I think the longer time goes, the more companies are going to start to do it.
Do you think they're having trouble with licensing? That's why gifting's not a thing. Maybe, like if they were to do this, because you know, again, you're transferring a license to another player. Maybe they don't have a system.
And then once again, maybe they're having trouble with licensing because PlayStation wasn't initially designed to gift games like that. So they have to restructure something drastically. Because if you remember, the cart's been there for a while, hasn't it? Yeah. So, you know, they found that as a priority. And one would think that you would try to make sure gifting is implemented into your system because it encourages more people to spend their money to get more money. You know, you know how easy it is when let me tell you guys something. When we give away games on ILP, it is so much easier on Xbox because we just need their email address and we gift it to them directly from the store. When we do PlayStation, it's a bunch of hoops, man. We got to do front hoops, back hoops, side hoops. It's crazy. It looks like I'm playing Fall Guys the way I have to be gifting on PlayStation. But you know, they need to fix that. They need better, you know, implements and features. You know, and people need to hold them to the fire. You know, dirt. They got to hold them to the fire, man. We need more features over there. And gifting, it's like I said, gifting doesn't seem like a negative thing at all for them to do. Besides the initial investment it takes to get it into to the store and implemented, all that's going to do is encourage people to play more games and buy more games and buy more DLC. So I don't understand why that still is a thing that they still haven't done. To me, at that point, it has to be the amount of time it takes they don't see as being worth doing that effort.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just not that important to him right now. That's all I can say, man. Maybe it's just not that important to him right now.
They're trying to make sure God of War don't get delayed to 2023.
I just tried so hard to be messy, y'all, in the chat. I'm saying on that.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm talking to this one pony. I told him just love 2022. No. Enjoy 2022 because yes, Xbox doesn't have any AAA games. Just enjoy it. Keep on cherishing. Xbox has no games. Love it for the rest of the year. Go ahead.
We could talk about that real quick because I do want to bring up the Netflix thing briefly. Look, Xbox is, in terms of first party, it is pretty dry, and
of course,
2022 is an L for Xbox in terms of their first party. But here's the thing: like, regardless how we feel about it, what is a year to a company that makes platforms and develop games? It sucks for as a consumer, but if the games start rolling out and they're good, nobody's going to talk about the year that Xbox had like 2 games the entire year.
I mean, don't remember for reference, but yeah, they're going to talk about the year where they're thriving for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, look, that's why I got a PlayStation and a Switch because, I'm always going to have something to play. Always mad at gaming. That your name says it all, man. You're always mad at gaming because clearly you don't. How do you play games and always be mad at gaming? That's a troll account. It is what it is.
They said it's Chris Hart. It's Chris Hart.
It's Chris Hart.
Yes, dude. It's Chris Hart. Shout out to Chris.
It's just like, look, I play everything. That's why I'm so adamant about God of War coming out this because it's rough in these streets right now, man. There's decent games coming out, but there's nothing that's like chef's kiss. Yeah.
With Callisto Protocol, but that's
next year.
No, it's this year.
No, that's December.
Oh, that's getting pushed to January.
You think
so?
Stop. Yeah. Well, like the Dead Space remake is in January.
Yeah, I'm saying. What do
you think's going to do better, Dead Space or Callisto Protocol?
Callisto.
I think.
I'm actually working. I'm working on getting a developer on here from Callisto Protocol, one of the lead developers.
Nice.
So we'll crack it up with him, talking. Hopefully, if that goes through.
Yeah.
But let's move on to this Netflix thing. Netflix and Xbox have partnered up for their ad-free subscription model on Netflix. We all know what happened, man. Microsoft makes any type of partnership that's on a huge scale, people automatically start like reaching, man. Like Mr. Fantastic reaching. So what I want to ask you guys is, what is your initial thoughts when you saw this? And then now that things have calmed down a little bit, what's your thoughts on it now? We'll start with Dirt. What is Microsoft buying Netflix? What's going on, man?
Okay, let me tell you this. I just don't know. Now, I got to be honest. Some of my Xbox brothers and sisters, they do jump out there. They want, they know Microsoft is one of the richest companies in the world. And clearly Microsoft is spending money right now. And so sometimes we get excited. Buy Netflix, buy Capcom. Come on, man. Let's just calm down. Let's look at it as it is. It's a business partnership with Microsoft and Netflix. Now, can this possibly lead to other things down the line? Absolutely. I mentioned the other day that possibly xCloud could go to Netflix. I think that can be huge. Just imagine every Netflix account or, like whatever tier they decide to put Game Pass on, that can be huge. I mean, like, just imagine you like you watch a movie, like you watch The Witcher, You watch something else, you go play the Witcher game, or things like that. So that's definitely a possibility in the future. And if that happened, don't be surprised that Xbox will say, "Hey, yo, Xbox Game Pass subs is at 220 million now." They just kind of combine Netflix with Xbox Game Pass. But yeah. So I think it's cool, but as of right now, I'm just going to look at it as what it is. It's a partnership. I'm not going to speculate. I mean, it's cool to talk about that kind of stuff, to be honest with you, especially in dry times like right now, but not a lot of gaming news. We have to kind of run with things. We got to wing it. So it is fun to talk about saying, will Microsoft buy Netflix and things like that? But I'm not going to go that far yet. But I think, it's a cool partnership or whatever. Their ad tier or whatever. Like, 'cause Netflix is trying to,
get into gaming. They're trying to get in gaming.
Yeah, they are, because they have like some mobile games now. And, I think Netflix might be plateauing to where they're not really gaining, they're losing some, and they're trying to, like you said, get something else to, like,
they want to keep
Disney
people
Plus, they got competition
subscribed.
now.
Yeah, they want to keep people subscribed, and a lot of people. The thing is, a lot of people unsubscribe. Like me, I unsubscribe when a certain show season is not there. Like, I'm waiting till September. God, we're so close, but September, I'll be back on that because Cobra Kai season 5.
Right? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. Yeah.
So, that's what I'll be back on. But yeah, Netflix, just aside from a few shows, that's about it. Most of the movies on here, you think about it, they don't have. I don't know if y'all caught on to this, but it doesn't look like, it's not like they had everything back there. You know what I mean? Like, they had all the higher end movies. You know what I mean? No, those licenses got a little too expensive. So now you see a few in the barrel, right? And you
there's
see
competition out there now too, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot too.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. Like, I saw people like shout out to Paris Lily saying that Netflix needs to incorporate more, wait
weekly.
week to week. And I think that's completely. No one's leaving Netflix because they can't watch all their stuff. Because they watch all their stuff in a couple months. Like, I get it. The concept to that is people are watching they're binge watching it a couple days and then they have nothing to watch the rest of the month. But it's just like, look, like Amazon, all they got is The Boys. Like, it's okay to have it's okay to have like a mindset that as a content creator, you want them to be released weekly so you can make content weekly.
Yep.
But as a consumer, what does that really benefit you? Like, nothing.
Right.
Like, you have to wait a week to watch something. Like, and then that's mentioning that the people binge watching are watching it in a day or two. Mm-hmm. I know people that's still watching Stranger Things 3 or 4 weeks later.
Yeah.
Like, the reason people are leaving Netflix is because A, they keep raising their prices more than the rest of the industry. Mm-hmm. B, they keep canceling shows that people actually like. And C, like Dirk Griggity said, back then they could do all this and they would still grow because there was no competition. For the most part, people had like that one little show. Wasn't really that big of a show, but it was like a show.
Yeah, like back then they had if I remember correctly, back then they had Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they had Angel, they had all the classics.
Yeah, they had a bunch of that stuff.
Yeah, I was like, damn, nostalgia overload. Let me watch. I'm gonna subscribe. Now they're gone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Netflix, I still consider is the king of the crop when it comes to streaming because they still have the most shows that account to me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But the problem is 5-10 years ago, probably more like 5, when you looked at these other streaming services, there wasn't an HBO Max that was getting out hits. There wasn't Amazon that's throwing out The Boys. There wasn't Disney Plus. Actually probably one of the better of them all. And then there wasn't stuff like Peacock having their own exclusive video movie shows.
Paramount Plus.
It was Netflix, and that's all. And like, if you wanted the exclusive shows and the TV shows that you enjoyed, you had to go to Netflix. There was no other choice. Mm-hmm. But now there's competition. There's people bidding for this stuff. There's people there's people that say, okay, we will pay you to just at least put your stuff on us. You can be for the streets. We just want to be part of the streets. Like, and now it's not necessarily about fighting for exclusivity. It's about just staying relevant and making sure the actual content is on your system.
Controlling the narrative.
And that's why I'm so adamant about the JRPGs and stuff. Like, it's the same concept. Like, it has to be on the system. It doesn't matter if it's not an exclusive at that point. It's got to, for the bare minimum, be on the system.
Yep. I agree. Absolutely.
And that's why I feel like, you know, we do got to do better as a community, as content creators and influencers and media. Stop hyping up everything into everything that it's not. You know, if you start seeing more, because then what we do, we influence 230 people into thinking Netflix is being bought by Microsoft. 225 people go on Twitter and say, Addict and Dirt and BitCloud told me that Microsoft's buying Netflix. And then before you know it, those 225 people, they might between them all have like maybe 10,000 followers. And then before you know it, them 10,000 followers and people say, I saw somewhere on the internet that Microsoft's buying Netflix. And before you know it, Netflix is trending on Twitter. Like, that's how this stuff works.
That's how it be.
Right.
They don't understand it. They don't understand it. Unrealistic expectations.
You know, we have a yearly E3, what's at E3 thing. And, you know, I kind of overlooked that. You could go a little bit at balls to the wall with that particular event because that's what we're there. We're there to hype people up. We're there to, like, you know, speculate. But, you know, some people like Kid Smooth and Boom, they going way balls to the wall when it comes to those events. They, you know, Smooth was saying release dates. Okay, release dates. So it is just like to a point when the hype is killing a game, at that point, who's to blame? Is it the influencers and the content creators that's influencing this massive amounts of people into having this unrealistic expectation? Or is it the developers that don't meet that unrealistic expectation?
What did I say about Cyberpunk, Addict? That's a good example right there.
Yeah, but I do feel like Cyberpunk was a different beast. If Cyberpunk would have came out and worked, I think it would have met expectations.
No, but the thing was this, though. Remember, it was their first new IP, and everybody was putting these unrealistic expectations of what it was going to do, and we didn't see anything. Then we were getting confirmation of stuff being cut from the game. Mm-hmm. For example, third person. Remember that was the big thing in customization. That was cut. And people are like, oh, there's nothing to worry about. First person is better than third. I'm like, okay. Even though we're talking about customization there, you know, and then the game drops and it's not even a fraction of what they were talking about. So I don't know, man. It takes this community, it's a give and take when it comes to overhyping stuff. Like, you know, sometimes a little hype is good, and then there's others who just overhype everything for the sake of doing this, and
that's why
it never ends well. Yeah,
that's why there are scenarios where it does need to be met. You know, Cyberpunk, if you know people are hyping the hell out of your game, delay that sucker and get it at least working.
That's
like, why are you wanting to fight up a hill? Like, there's people up the hill with spears and pikes. You're gonna lose. Yep. Like I don't understand why developers and publishers feel like they can win against the internet. You can't. No. It don't matter how much money you have. You could be a trillionaire. You're never going to win the internet. The internet is going to beat you up, drag you home, show your face to that like little, what's the little retinal scanner? They're gonna open the door and they're gonna beat your whole family up. That's the internet. Like, they don't care. That's why, like, I don't understand why people are okay with putting out broken games. You're going to get roasted. You've literally killed your game before it even comes out. $5 super chat from Yo Baby Farva. I hope I didn't butcher that, but we're gonna keep going on. What's up, fellas? Great chat. Addict showing dedication, streaming from Beach for Us. My guy Dirt always on point. Hey man, look at that. What's funny is
what's up, your baby Farva?
Yeah, appreciate the support, man. I used this on ILP and people lost their mind. Like, and I didn't look. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't expect people to go this crazy over this, but I use this.
And that's fire though. Man, that's fire.
You could use it too. Like if you go to video and you click the little arrow thing, and then you go to the video settings, and then what you do is you go to background and effects. You go to avatar beta. You can turn yourself into an animal too. We can all be animals.
Wow.
I love it. I'm gonna talk like this for the rest of the thing, man.
See if I can find a pony.
Yeah, that's fire.
Oh yeah, please find a horse. That would be so epic. I don't know why. Like I'm not normally part of the console war stuff, but you could turn yourself into a pony.
Unfortunately, there's no pony.
Oh,
there's,
man.
There's a cow.
That's funny, bro.
we the animal podcast today, man.
There you go.
Hey, you say go where? How you say the background filters?
You go to the video settings. You go to background filters and avatar beta.
Yes, sir.
So I
hey
mean,
guys, welcome to the Addict Show, where your dreams become reality.
Oh my god! So
That's
you know,
stupid.
You might have to update your. So there,
probably.
when you
You
look
know,
at the backgrounds and effects, it just says virtual backgrounds and video filters, and that's all.
Yeah. Yep.
You might have to update your Zoom.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, I don't see it.
you know,
funny.
let me turn it off before we get sidetracked, because I keep looking at myself, man. But look
at Big Cloud, man. Like he enjoyed it.
I'm turning my head over.
That's funny, man.
Oh my god, that's stupid.
No, look, at the end of the day, it's like I said, the biggest thing I just want when it comes to the Netflix thing, it's just, oh man, the animal thing threw me out completely out of it.
We was talking about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing. Look, all I want is games to come out and not be broken. There we go. Let's move on to the meat and potatoes, man. There's a lot of speculation going out that the Xbox and Activision deal is closing down. It's about to end.
Yay.
So I'm kind of curious what your guys' opinion on this. Now, I've talked to Dirt a few times about it. I haven't had BitCloud on in a while. You know, obviously this Activision thing it was rumored months ago to be finishing out of the beginning of next year. But if it does finish a little early, do you think that might change options for Microsoft this holiday, or do you think, you know, what they had planned is going to be what goes down? Start with BitCloud.
You know, in terms of change, I don't know about. I don't know. It depends, honestly, and how quick they can get everything going. Like, for example, the biggest quick change I could see happening if the deal was to finish quickly would be Call of Duty, obviously, in Game Pass, like the OGs and Game Pass. As far as like the newer ones, I could definitely see it if they wanted to do something like that and partner with it. But if anything, before we start getting into that, they'll probably start doing custom consoles along with that as well, and get into heavy marketing, with that being the poster boy or one of their poster boys for the console and Game Pass. Because right now Halo ain't it. You know what I'm saying? You need something massive to get behind. So I think that would be it. Their strategic way of going about it.
What you feel, Dirt? You feel like something's gonna change?
You know, I agree with what Big Cloud said. If the deal is finalized, say within maybe say September, just for an example, September, I do believe what he just said. I think they're going to throw all the Activision Blizzard games in Game Pass. Now, with the exception of the brand new Call of Duty. Now the reason I say the exception, because we don't know what type of deal Sony has, because they still have the marketing rights for Call of Duty this year. Do they have a no Game Pass deal? I don't know, but
yeah,
I totally. Huh?
No, I think I do remember something like that. There was a deal, something like that. With there.
Yeah,
well, I remember after a couple of the games, I remember Sony started implementing those type of clauses.
It's like
in
a
their
clause.
contract.
Yeah, it's a clause.
But this Call of Duty deal was probably made in like 2013, 14. Like.
Yeah,
it was
but you
got to
keep in mind.
Time ago.
You got to keep in mind, though, how many games were on that contract as well. You know what I mean? You got this one, you probably got the next one, and the one after that. So you probably got like 3, maybe 4 in total. And then once that is up, then obviously Microsoft is free to do whatever the hell they want in terms of marketing with it. So what I just see is mostly the legacy titles
I agree,
making its way to the service, just to add a little bit more, like going, yeah, guys, you guys want to play the OGs, the servers and everything, they're up, they're on,
Right.
a Game Pass.
Yeah.
Go check those out, and that would be their way of getting you into the service even more. And what Sony does later on, and again, because Sony knows this, they can't rely on Call of Duty as a crutch anymore. That's why they're making service games, or 10 service games,
absolutely.
and they got Bungie now helping them with this. Bungie is like their big saving grace when it comes to multiplayer games, because they're not really that greatest when it comes to multiplayer games. So Bungie's going to lend their expertise and fix that.
What happens if they buy? I was
What's
gonna
up?
say, what happens if they buy Bungie and all these service games flops?
All they need is really one to hit, bro. They need one to hit.
I think they need more than one. I think they need
like
at
one or
least
They
three.
need more.
I think they need at least 3.
One
They
or
doing
two,
10?
and that's enough. Yeah, they're doing 10, but I think one more than likely is guaranteed to hit, and that's Factions, depending on how well that is done. Factions could be their Gears of War if done right. Their Gears Online, if properly done, it could be like that one. Another one that could happen. I mean, again, we're not. You forgot about legacy titles that could potentially come back with SOCOM and Resistance. I see those coming back with Insomniac overseeing Resistance. So there's a lot of stuff they can go back and grab and go, listen, Bungie, we need that multiplayer to be.
Yeah.
We need to be fired. You know what I mean?
People
We
in
need
the
to
chat-
No big clock. I want to give you
People
props,
in
bro.
the
You
chat are
just
coming real quick. Let me address something. People in the chat are coming at me because I said that. What I didn't say. Most likely, a lot of these games are going to hit. I would just say it would be crazy if they spent that kind of money on Bungie and it didn't help them with their games. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't mind Addict, y'all. His beard's too heavy. That's all.
No, let me say. No, I want to give you props because I wholeheartedly agree with what you said. They can't rely on COD anymore like they used to, because
it was a crutch.
obviously Xbox is going to own them. So that's why I always said them buying Bungie was a good move, because it's not about Destiny. It's definitely not about Destiny 2.
Nah.
It's about Bungie's
That's icing on the
expertise.
cake. Yeah, that's
absolutely.
icing on
It's
the cake,
about their expertise
You want the
with
team.
live service games and multiplayer games.
And also
Absolutely
too, a lot of people forgot about this too. Like, again, this was on the table, and I thought it wouldn't be the smartest purchase. But then when I looked at it from a strategic point of view, like, like Ubisoft, remember there was reports that Sony was looking to buy Ubisoft. It was like a big thing going around for that. If Sony acquired Ubisoft, they would have all the leg room, and not to mention the workforce, to push more games out here than what we've personally seen. And that's a lot more hands-on projects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that could have definitely benefited these service place games to begin with. And on top of that, expertise being pushed to other stuff, such as legacy back and pat types. We've been talking about that for a long time. They're looking for solutions. Now they're talking about multi-layer GPUs to fix their cloud solution. It's like they know they have some holes in their game that they have to iron out. There's a lot of stuff, because streaming games sounds cool on paper, but it's not the proper fix. It doesn't beat native support. You know what I mean? You just plug it in a disc and, hey, look, the game's up. Hey, look, trophies are popping, as opposed to me, hitting stream and hitting hit with lag and all this. No, it doesn't work like that. It won't work like that.
Yep.
So,
I agree with you, man. I agree. Hey, my boy Other Zeke in the chat, man. Boy, Other Zeke be talking that trash. Hey, what's up, dog?
I guess when it comes to me, I just want to see more consistency with all that. I do want to see them have that. The biggest thing I want, that I'm curious on, is that Bethesda round table conference show they had.
Right.
I want to see if they have something similar of Activision, where they sit around with hopefully Bobby won't be there. But,
no, Bobby be in the restroom. Stay in there, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby ain't gonna be in the restroom. Bobby gonna be eating 5-star hotel room.
Oh yeah, it's like you can get all that
across
money, right? They gonna buy him out. You're right about that. They gonna break him off. They gonna buy him out. Like, yo, man.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, he walks up, and the moment they sign the deal and they're in that room, they look at Bobby like, all right, you got to leave the building now.
Security, get this guy out of here. Hey, but I think they will have that same type of roundtable with, like they had with ZeniMax once the deal is finalized. I really do believe that, and I believe they're going to break down what it. I'm the type of guy. I do believe that COD will remain multiplayer. Obviously, Overwatch 2 will remain multiplayer, and
It's
Diablo
just
4.
Xbox are more likely going to get some perks, some crazy perks
Oh, absolutely.
after
Well,
everything's
Game
done.
Pass,
Like,
yeah.
well, not just that though. You guys remember the multiplayer? Not the multiplayer. The maps from the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Back then, how like Microsoft or Sony would get them early.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing: they can do something completely different with Game Pass Incorporated. They can get it for free for Game Pass users.
Yeah.
Or and early. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of perks they can throw into this with Game Pass. So
Absolutely, man.
it's strategic.
Plus, I do believe that future games, new IPs, will be exclusive to the platform, because they already said Activision Blizzard is making some new IP on the Blizzard side that's going to be exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah,
I do think because of Warzone, there's a good chance that Call of Duty from now on is a bi-year game. Like,
yeah,
I
agree with you.
I don't think that, you know, their mindset's like, look, like, we might lose some money on the back end a little bit because Call of Duty's not coming out yearly, but then we'll take some of those resources that was going into making Call of Duty every year and we'll amp up Warzone to make that even more successful. I think they'll snatch some of the devs. Now, I do think that you're probably going to still have like 2 to 3 developers maybe working on Call of Duty, but not like 6. I think some of those developers
this year, everybody's working on it. It's like all of the studios that I read is working on the game this year. All of them, Raven, Treyarch, it's like all of them doing something.
Crazy thing is, Sony even got former COD devs. I don't think I remember Firesprite. Firesprite's the former COD developers too. So it's going, again, it's going to be an interesting generation. It really is, and how everybody plays ball and how the pieces fall in line, how things go. You know, Sony already got one massive seller guaranteed to push them really far in 2023, and that's Spider-Man. And we're not even counting Wolverine, which is probably going to be 2024, maybe.
Yeah.
I doubt it's 2023. I think that's 2024. So
yeah, that'll probably be 2024.
It's going to be interesting. I'm actually looking forward to that. Imagine that day I wake up in the morning to COD. All COD games have reached Game Pass.
That's going to be crazy.
You ain't going to play neither because you suck. No.
Yeah, I'm definitely not playing no Call of Duty game. Like, I ain't capping on that. Me and COD games don't get along, but you know, I've actually,
for a day.
You know, there's just a lot of aspects to this Call of Duty deal, this Activision deal in general. Like I said, even if they go about making Call of Duty a year-by-year game, where it's not year-by-year, it's bi-yearly, just the games that they free up and the opportunities that they give people, I feel is going to be huge for them, because there are a lot of like little things that Microsoft needs that I do feel like those studios can handle. You know, there's like a let me look up the Activision Studios game. I can't remember all.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, Guitar Hero's one.
True
Oh
Crime.
my God! Please don't let that come out.
Crash,
You say Guitar Hero.
Crash Bandicoot is another.
Spyro. Pitfall. You go back to Pitfall.
Please no.
Oh man.
What was I about to say? So you're pretty much waiting for obviously when Doom hits the store, as well as Elder Scrolls. Like, again, they have a lot of leverage. Why it's like it's just the waiting, which I understand. It's weird. You know what I mean? We were talking about this bear, just there's nothing to really show. But you know, once that stuff is shown, then you know you'll be fine.
Tony Hawk. Yeah, I forgot about Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk. All right, so I'm looking at the studios now. So you know they own quite a bit. I don't think people really realize how like many studios that they actually own.
Prototype.
Yeah, so they own, you know, studios within their studios, like Raven Studios, Infinity War, High Moon Studios, and there's the people that helped with Destiny.
I remember High Moon. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't
Activision Shanghai, I think that's what it's called.
Okay, so let me. Infinity War, Red Moon. That's just, you know, pretty much Sledgehammer Games. Clear. I actually got a cousin that works at Sledgehammer.
Hey,
Toys for Bob. That's what I was thinking about. Toys for
Crash
Bob.
4 was amazing, by the way. That game was overlooked. and underrated.
Didn't that come on Game Pass or like
It's on
PlayStation Plus or something?
It's released on Plus. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's a
might
great
have to
game.
go over there and
it looked good.
download that.
I love the Insane trilogy. I just been wanting to play a new one, so definitely gonna.
So I mean, look, you look at Treyarch. You know, you look at all these studios. Now, I do think Treyarch, Infinity War, they're still going to work on Call of Duty. They're going to be the Call of Duty studios.
Absolutely.
I do think Sledgehammer might be turned into a support studio.
Mhm.
You know, they might have a good more amount of their people helping. I think they'll work on smaller games like AA games, but I don't think they're going to work on any more AAA products for a while. But you know, and then you look at companies like Raven Studio, their studio that can easily make something. High Moon Studio, they can easily make something. Like, you know, you give a lot of these studios a little bit of a budget to show you what they can do, and you'll be surprised what they do.
I agree with you.
That's why I'm excited for Jade Raymond and her team.
Haven, right?
Yeah, Haven Studios. I'm excited for what they're working on.
Yeah.
You know,
They just got, you know,
Toys for Bob. That's who I want to make like a Banjo or a Conquer.
I think they'll be perfect.
I also are those the people that make the Crash Bandicoot games?
Yeah.
Toys for Bob.
They made Crash 4. I'm telling you.
Oh, they made Crash 4.
You know what they should
I'm
do?
thinking of
Crash 4 is
Terminal. I'm thinking of Terminal Reality. I think that's who made the Insane trilogy.
Yeah.
They should make. I always thought they would be cool as like a Crash Bandicoot and Spyro game, like combined.
Yeah.
Like a collab game. But why did they did a Crash Bandicoot and a Banjo-Kazooie combined game? Like,
They're like, y'all don't even remember that game Crash Bash?
No, I don't remember that one.
Y'all remember Crash Bash, where it was like a bunch of party games you can like.
Oh, the party! I do remember that one.
It was like pinball. It was like a thing when you had to eliminate everybody, kill each other, or something like that. It was a lot of stuff. And it had bosses.
I know this would never happen, but you know how cool it would be, since we have like this cross-play and cross-progression so accepted, that Nintendo that Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, the people who make Super Smash Brothers, they make 3 versions of that, one for every platform with all their IP characters, and then cross-play where if you play with the other people, you play their like exclusive games. So like if you're playing like kind of like, remember what they did with the Soul Calibur, like there was Link on one, and Spawn,
I remember
like,
that.
do that but on a bigger scale to where like if I'm playing someone on PlayStation, it's Nintendo players versus PlayStation players. And like Kratos, like I think that would work so well. Imagine how much money that game would make.
Yeah.
I mean, Sony, you can tell Sony wants to do another PlayStation All-Stars, but problem
Ain't
with
nobody
PlayStation
wants
All-Stars,
that,
the first one, a lot of people want it, but the problem with the first one was they didn't have the roster. They took a lot of they couldn't even get Crash in the game. They had to get
Microsoft has a roster to make one of those. So I definitely think PlayStation can make one of those, but Microsoft got some crazy IP
now.
They can make
Absolutely. Yeah. Doom guy, yes.
Ghost.
Spyro.
That's why my dream for Microsoft is a lot of collab studio effort. I'd like for studios to work together to make games. Like I mentioned, I like you know, to see Obsidian and Bethesda Software Studios collab to make Fallout 5. Another one that I think would be really cool is what's that studio called? The one that made Psychonauts.
Double Fine
collabing with Rare to make a Banjo.
Yeah.
You know, and people like, obviously Double Fine said they don't want to make a Banjo, but that's just the higher ups. You know, they want to do what they want to, but there's plenty of people in these studios that have ambition and they've proven themselves. And if you gave them a studio, like a team to work on a game, they would hit it out of the park. And that's why I feel like, instead of waiting 8 years for a Fallout, let Obsidian and Bethesda work on it together with maybe 20, 30 people from Bethesda, 20, 30 people from Obsidian, then upscale it when it gets to mass production, and then you would have a game. Because my thing is, I don't want to wait. I feel like waiting 5 years to start working on Fallout 5 is a mistake. Because that is such a big RPG moment. I get it. We gotten to the point where Microsoft has so many RPGs. It doesn't really make sense to just start another developing on another one. But to me, once these studios start getting their games out, it would be nice to just knock on a door and be like, Fallout 5 dropping a year after Elder Scrolls 6. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my opinion. It's just like, look, man, we need more games, not less. And I feel like, Microsoft is in a particular opportunity where they can do stuff like that, where you can see a Spyro with a Crash Bandicoot game, or Crash Bandicoot. I think because he's such a unique personality character, would probably work better with like a Conquer, or actually that would be crazy. Conquer and Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, you have Conqueror like just on the screen, and all of a sudden you hear a bunch of spinning, and he starts shooting at him.
Imagine what's that mask that follows Crash around?
Oh, the evil one, or the
imagine
good one?
like a Banjo-Kazooie type of game, but instead of Kazooie, it's Crash Bandicoot and Conquer.
Yeah,
and imagine like Conquer and Crash and that mask fighting all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the evil one probably corrupts Conquer or something, and Crash got to save him or something. I don't know.
It would be cool, like, dude. I think like situations like that, the evil one. Like I could just see Conquer making fun of him saying that. I think there's a lot of opportunities that Microsoft has. Sony got a little bit of them, but I do feel like Microsoft has just the raw power to make some of these games that necessarily some people don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
So ending the show with this whole Activision thing. What is your expectations with that? What?
I was gonna say we're ending the show. We gotta end the show with the animal. So.
I'm mad. I can't do it. I gotta update it. Yeah. I gotta update.
We got to do
next week, man. We'll have the whole show for a couple minutes as the animals talking. Man. So what is your expectations with this Activision deal? Like in the long run, we'll go short run and long run. Start with BitCloud. What's your expectations when it comes to the near short future, maybe 6 months to a year and a half, and then maybe 3 years on?
Okay. So if the deal is finished, again, just going off of what we said earlier, short end of the whole thing, I can see them quickly acting and going, hey guys, the OG classics, all Call of Duties are in here. So if you guys want to play those legacy games, they're in here. Servers are up. That'd be pretty badass. You can go play those and experience those on PC and console. So you can get on that and have fun with those. That'd be cool. And the long-term haul, I mean, there's so much you can take from it, especially after the contracts are done with Microsoft and the deal. Like we said earlier, Sony can't rely on Call of Duty no more as a crutch for a multiplayer solution. So this would be Microsoft's ace player in terms of selling their ecosystem. You will have Ghost more likely on the cover or one of the poster boys for Game Pass. You would probably see custom laser edge consoles to go with this. And I can actually see them doing something with GameStop where you buy the console, you get this Game Pass, get all that stuff, and that would be the theme going for that. You can also see really the other thing I can see for this too is DLC and how they handle microtransactions and whatnot with the console. So Microsoft will more likely get the DLC rights again. Ironically, they're the ones who started that trend, so it'd be crazy if they just did it all over again. But this time they do it in a crazier way where you get everything not only earlier, but imagine if you guys get it, you get all this stuff with Call of Duty at no additional cost. It's exclusive to Game Pass members. Like that's an exclusive for Game Pass members. So you don't have to pay an additional cost for being a Game Pass member, and you get all the DLC and whatnot for it. That'd be pretty badass as well. But the first thing I do expect to see though, obviously, is the legacy games on there. And it'd be cool if they also boosted those games. That would be awesome. Pretty cool too. So that's what I would say. So I don't know why my screen froze. There you go.
Yeah.
What
about you, Dirt? What's
short
your
term
expectations for short and long term with this deal?
I agree with BitCloud. Short term, just like with ZeniMax, if you guys remember, excuse me, after the deal was finalized, it seems like within a few days they threw that ZeniMax back catalog of games into Game Pass. It seemed like they just threw them all in there. Excuse me. So I totally expect that from all Activision Blizzard. And also the short term, I fully expect after the contract is finalized, some maybe Diablo 4 will go into Game Pass, PC and console. I think Overwatch 2 is a free to play anyway, all right.
Overwatch 2? Yeah,
is Overwatch 2 free to play?
Overwatch 2 is free to play.
Yeah.
But what's funny is they have like a paid version of it. It's like $40. You can actually have access to the game right now.
Oh, okay.
It's like the beta of it or something like that. I don't know if it's still available, but I saw people playing it and they said they got it for that particular bundle. So I'm curious if that's like the beta was that week and now you just paid $40 for nothing,
right?
Or if you have access to a beta until the actual game comes out.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with everything you said. I do believe. Also, well, that's more long term. So I'll say it when we go long term. But yeah, I agree with what Big Hall said.
So what's your long term goals, man? What you expect?
Well, now my long term goal.
He kind of lit up a little bit there. He's like,
you know how it is with Xbox, man. We got to look at the future, man. But long term, I do believe when the contract with PlayStation is over with, I do believe you will see those games in Game Pass day one, the brand new ones. Even, you know what, I'm still not sure if there's some type of language in those contracts saying those games cannot go into Game Pass from PlayStation side, because like you guys mentioned earlier, there was definitely some type of language in their marketing deals that said these games cannot go into Game Pass for a set amount of time. So I definitely see special theme consoles in the future, exclusive titles in the future. Maybe they do like another Crash in the future, or whatever these teams are going to make. With Xbox, they're going to be exclusive titles from Activision Blizzard. Activision. Yeah, absolutely. Because Call of Duty is still a huge game, a huge franchise. And that being under Xbox umbrella means a lot.
The marketing itself is worth more than the deal itself.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Because if you think about the 360 generation, the entire generation, actually, we saw Call of Duty kind of become this juggernaut during the Xbox 360 PS3 generation. The entire generation, it seemed like Xbox had the marketing deal until 2015 when PlayStation got it. And obviously PlayStation has had it ever since. And it's a huge game, man. Like, it's literally the best-selling game every year with a few exceptions. But, yeah, and I still believe the game being every 2 years in the future would definitely benefit the titles. And I just believe that Xbox is going to do a lot of great things with Activision Blizzard as a whole. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. See what new IPs they make. See what old games they bring back. I would love a true crime remake or remaster or whatever. No, a remake. No, any of these other games out there in the past. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the future.
I don't think they're going to mess
Payne, I want a lot of stuff returned.
I don't think they're going to mess with that stuff too much anymore because...
Yeah, probably not.
I feel like GTA is just such a juggernaut that people, even though they never do anything with that franchise, it's like decades before they do anything with that franchise. I feel like they're so scared that GTA going to pop in and just steal everyone's lunch money.
Yeah. Yeah. The 6 is going to be huge.
Speaking of GTA, though, y'all hear about that? Like, Dave's like, yeah, you know what? About that,
yeah, I did.
About that remaster of Rose, Red Dead 1 and Max Payne. Yeah, we ain't going to do that because you guys ate us up about the definitive edition, even though those weren't good. But y'all ate us up about that. So we're just gonna skip all this. We're gonna go to GTA 6. My thing is this. I thought y'all had been working on 6.
Yeah. It was Red Dead 1 and something else.
It was
Max Payne, Red Dead 1 and something and Blood.
No, I thought the Remedy was doing Max Payne 1 and 2 remake.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah, it was something. It was Red Dead 1 and something else. I can't remember. But yeah, you're right. They was like, nah, we just gonna focus on GTA 6.
So they have like 5 people working on GTA 6 in the basement. Sit
Yeah,
there
it's
and
funny,
they
man.
try to like
People-
knock on the door to come out and get water, and they're like, "Go back down there,
Dude,
don't
this
come down
game's
till that
probably-
level's done."
I'm not sure if this game's still in the top 10 GTA 5 in sales, but let me tell you, man, when we get into 6, oh boy, I don't
GTA
know.
4 was supposed to be a remake, they said.
Oh, 4?
It was
Okay.
red. Yeah, the GTA 4. Yep. Thanks, Inferno Games.
I would have taken 4 for
Yeah.
sure. GTA 4 was good, but GTA 6 is going to be ridiculous in terms of how they really bring that world back, that GTA Online, because there's going to be so much. I can't tell you how many people I know like spent over $5,000 on that game, just buying the yachts and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy.
It's
They're like,
killing.
I gotta have this. I gotta have that yacht. I'm like, it ain't even, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something you could drive around. It'd be different if you could drive it around, but no, you're buying a yacht that you teleport to, you're stationed in, and you can't do anything with aside from just reenact something.
But you know what, Big Law? I gotta be honest, man. These games somehow, I don't know if they brainwash us to like 2K, right? NBA 2K. I remember going into the park or the city, right?
Yep.
And when you walk around with that doo-doo brown shirt on, you feel like, bro, it feels like real life. Like you have to get some clothes. I told a story on my podcast. A friend of mine, we were in the city. It was his first time being there. So we were in the party with like 6 other guys. We were playing, and they was roasting them. Like, yo, man, look at your gear, man. You got the brown shirt on, you got the gray shoes. And he felt obligated. He texted me like, yo, Dirt, bro, what do I have to do to get some gear? Right. So I told him, man, he spent $20 real of VC and went to get some clothes because they do a good job of making you feel like you have to spend some money. Like you said, people with the yachts, like you said, you can't even drive it around, but they want it, man.
I know you've seen on YouTube like them couples pranks. They'd be like deleting their my careers or whatever. Listen, when these dudes be like, "Yo, I spent $200, $300 on that couch," I'd be like, "Yo, hold up!" Like it'd be like that. Y'all be spending that much.
It's serious, bro. It is serious, man. Listen, I play 2K a lot. I don't play my city that much, but it is serious, bro.
I'm like, bro, y'all would think is y'all being gamers, y'all be smart enough to have a backup download of all your stuff if you live with someone devious like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I trust my girl for that. I'm like, listen, all my stuff got locks for a reason.
Exactly.
You ain't getting on none of my apps.
Facts.
You know, I am kind of curious because I see a lot of people talking about the God of War stuff. What do you like realistically? What do you think this game's gonna like score Metacritic wise?
God of War?
Yeah, the Ragnarok.
I think Ragnarok's gonna hit a 90 for sure.
90. I'll give you a 3-point thing. So like
I say 91. Yep.
91. You guys think?
Yeah. Well, like the first one here was 95.
95. Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna hit like a 90 because the reason why I say it's gonna be a 90 is because it's a continuation, right? It's not the first time we saw God of War. We're like, holy hell, it's third person. It looks fantastic. It's a different approach. And that wow factor is gone. Now it's, we're used to it now. So now that's the 90s going to come down strictly to the story, how they handle the characters, and just how ambitious they go about it. And since we already we're getting snippets towards it, right? With the Mjolnir in the collector's edition. So, hey, something big might happen in this. So you never know, man.
Something
I do hope that there's more
weapons.
weapons.
Spoil something?
I'm just saying, man. We might see some weapons in here. Maybe Tyr might give you a weapon or something. I don't know.
I think you're gonna snatch up Thor's hammer. I don't know why, but I feel like you're gonna use that hammer.
That'd be crazy though if it's like a curse like the MCU. He tries to lift it and his arm comes off.
Actually,
that'd be the twist. That's not real.
Someone looked that up in a stream I was watching. Like that's actually not like the actual Norse mythology. Like that's just a Marvel thing that you have to be worthy. And what's funny is I didn't know that. Like it's crazy how much MCU has influenced everything to think it's got to be like that. Like in actual Norse mythology, like Thor's fat. Like he got weight to him, and like people didn't like the way he was looking because it wasn't
Chris
six pack.
It wasn't Chris Hemsworth's figure. They were expecting that, and the funny thing is too, I don't know if y'all remember when we first saw Thor in the first one. Y'all remember he had like that cloak on, he had like that hood on and stuff like that. He had on that.
I don't remember.
It was raining, it was thundering. You don't remember? Like at the end of the game, like before when you go to the house, and after you beat like the main boss, you go to the house and then you hit that cutscene and you see like
at the end, exactly at the end. Yeah.
You know, tomorrow when he's like, "Who are you?" Then he unsheaves Mjolnir and he's like,
exactly.
"Okay." First of all, his design, I thought his design was gonna be that, but they was like, nah. This dude's gonna he's gonna look different. I'm like, okay, well, I thought that design was fire because it kept him ambitious, you know, or ambiguous. Like, you're like, what's he look like? Who is this guy? And it's like, oh shit, it really is. It really is Thor. Like, because I didn't know who it was at first. I'm like, is that really Thor or could that be Odin? Because remember, a lot of people talking about Odin, but I'm like, can't be Odin because he has.
That's one thing I'm beyond scared of is how they're gonna handle that story.
Well, Odin?
No, it's just God of War Ragnarok. I brought it up. Oh, there's so much variables. I just don't understand how they're going to realistically do a story that it's like the issues that Kingdom Hearts 3 had. There were so many variables up to that point that I didn't know how they're going to realistically tell that story and hit every note that needs to be hit. And I think they might have an issue with that, man. I don't know if it's going to like flop or anything like that. You know, I think they might do. People are like, well, the game's going to be long. Oh, okay, is it going to be a lot of cutscenes? Like,
how you feel about Odin and because like the big thing that I've been hearing is that the game is going to take us to Egypt. So how would you guys feel if, let's say, it's Odin and Anubis?
Isn't the little girl Egyptian?
I think so. I'm not sure. I didn't look her up, but that'd be crazy if the game takes us to Egypt and like the god, you know, of the underworld Anubis teams up with Odin.
I actually, for some reason, I want the Greek mythology to like mix back into it. I don't know why. Like, I want to see.
Yeah, the Greek mythology was fine.
You know what'd be crazy? You know what? I know this would never happen, but if he's fighting Odin, he's getting bodied. Kratos is like, and somehow Zeus comes back, and helps Kratos fight Odin. Like,
I don't think he would do that.
but see, the thing
that's a good question.
Look, like the thing is you could set it to where like flashbacks that showed like the gods can't stand each other. You know what I'm saying? And like Zeus was killed before he could kill Odin. So because you could word it in a way that would make sense where it's not like them teaming up. It's I hate Kratos, but I can't stand Odin. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the one variable we forgot about too, and this is why I love the 2018 so much because they hit us with that curveball when we go to the house because we have to go to the Norse version of the underworld. Yeah, I remember we had to get the blades. Yep. Who do we see on the boat?
Athena.
We saw Athena and I'm like, okay, so I guarantee there's some twists for sure with her and how she goes about it. Because it'd be crazy if let's say she hypothetically, I don't know, miraculously comes back to life or something. You know what I mean? And she kills Kratos. I don't know how they would do it, but there's just so many things they could do because the way Atreus is being built, you know, he's now in the trailer.
Someone said Zeus told Odin it's on site. Because part of me feels like when he was in the underworld in God of War 2018, clearly spoiler, they brought Zeus in that scene. I feel like for a reason. I don't know if it was like just to show where he came from, but it's just like they did have a lot of Greek mythology like Easter eggs in that, and it's just like, are they not gonna do anything with that part of of Kratos? Like, part of me feels like something's gotta happen in that Greek mythology lane. I don't know if it's people coming back to life.
Yeah, I mean, again, we it's been proven though. That's the thing too, that Norse gods are stronger than the Greek gods. So even if Zeus did come back and let's say he did try to help Kratos, he ain't holding the camera.
He might have had no comment.
He might as well just go stay dead.
It would probably be one of those things where they're all three fighting each other, but Zeus is fighting more Odin than Kratos. You know what I'm saying? Like Kratos is about to kill him, and you just see Zeus pop up, like grab his shirt and throw him. He's like, if anyone's killing Odin, it's me. That's why I say you just make it like like Zeus hates Kratos, but Odin has been like, there's been hates for
On his radar.
decades, generations. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. It was a good show, man. We had a pretty good turnout. Had 270 people in here. Appreciate you guys coming in week for week, especially this dry ass month. Man.
It's definitely dry, man.
Ooh.
I want to do a video and nothing to talk about right
the
now.
The Discord thing you could talk about.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about.
You don't want to talk about
that. Not a whole video.
We can't be you at. We can't talk about a future. We ain't going to do this.
But I appreciate everyone coming through. This has been a very we usually have pretty dry Julys, but this has been really dry. Like this has been the worst July of making content I've ever experienced. Like 2 weeks, we had to wing it. Like wing it. And I'm sure you Dirt and Cloud, Big Cloud, I'm sure you've noticed like when we do these shows, it's us that makes these shows entertaining because the news ain't entertaining. Like at all. The news is very dry right now. There ain't nothing to talk about. It's picking up a little bit, just a little bit. But, that's why I personally want the Activision deal to finally finish because
that'll be something.
I feel like the reason Microsoft's very quiet on a lot of stuff is because they don't want to have any hiccups with that Activision deal. But, it's like I said, I appreciate you guys from coming out. I've been trying this thing with YouTube. They have like a restream feature now. It's kind of like what's rating on Twitch, but I don't know how it works. Every time I try to do it, it doesn't work.
You gotta put like the channel that you want to raid or whatever, and they got to be live. I think that's how it works.
Well, see, but I tried that on ILP and it didn't work. So I don't know how it works. Maybe someone in the chat can tell me. Maybe some of you, someone they're going crazy in that chat. Atreus is the father of the world, serpent. Well, that's actually true. Zeus's death was warranted. Look, I'm not trying to say bring Zeus back. I just think it would be cool to have.
He wants to twist.
Just to see something. It would be even crazier if like all the gods came back from Greek mythology and they're like at war with Norse mythology for some reason. Like, obviously, none of that shit's happening, but I just want
you see Hercules pop up with no face.
Right. Hey, let me tell you something. God of War 3, man. Oh, my God, bro. That was one of the most gangster scenes I ever seen ever, bro.
Dude, when this man legit said, okay, you took my weapons, I'm going to triumph, and he left the entire damn arena, and you're like, okay. Like, this man was not playing. Like, I'm going to win this damn battle, and he ended up costing him his face.
And I think that's, when it comes to God of War, that's what's missing from God of War is that extra oomph. I don't feel like God of War's had it for years. Like this 2018, God of War 3 is probably Addict wants a Rumble Royale.
Addict with everybody.
Addict. I had some weird comments about that. Somebody tried to argue with me and Blaze about that. They was like, God of War 2018 is the most goriest God of War.
Oh, man. Like, that person must have played 3.
Have you not played God of War 3?
Oh, my God.
That's why, like, I love God of War 2018, but I'm sorry. It doesn't even hold a candle to 3.
Yeah.
Like, think about 3. In a matter of, like, 30 minutes, you kill Poseidon.
Yeah.
Poseidon. And that fight is insane. Like, you're literally...
It still looks good.
And that's why, like, I get annoyed when people act like there's no emotion in God of War 3, 2, and 1. Because it's like, there's literally a scene where you have to protect your wife and kid in a different dimension. And the only way to protect... The way to give them health is to take health from you. Yep. Like... It's just like that game is so deep. And like, I get it. They had to reimagine it. They had to really push, God of War forward. But you can't tell me 3 isn't the best God of War by far.
That's one of the most gangster games ever, man. That game was so fire, bro. Like, that's the first game I got on PS3.
That was the pinnacle for the franchise for me. That was the chef's kiss. That was the one to go,
that might be one of the best games like Sony's ever made, like for real. Like just think about the fights that was in that game. Like Kratos, just think about the transition between 2 to 3. Kratos literally brought all the Titans and said, you wanted some smoke? I got some smoke.
And that's how the game started off, bro. That's how the game started
That's
off.
why it's
That
so
was
memorable.
fire.
Yeah, all the Titans climbing the Mount Olympus, and then you think, okay, I'm about to fight Zeus. This man hits you with the biggest lightning bolt he could muster, and he sends you to hell. I'm like, okay, that was the opening, and it's like,
The game was fire, bro.
dude, it's so damn good. And
And
what I would say about 2018, that that scene with Baldur, obviously, remember how the game starts with Baldur at it? I will give the game this because the game did catch me off guard. It caught us all off guard when Kratos was showing his off, but he's getting punched. He's like, leave. And then this man just Shoryukens this man into damn all the way over here. Is like, okay, like I was not expecting that. Then it just turned into some damn, it was like a damn Goku fight.
Yeah. But it was dope though. It was dope as hell though.
They had some crazy moments, but
it's just like God of War 3 though, man. Like who was the guy that he took his did he take his feet or his shoes? I don't remember.
Hermes.
Cut his greaves off.
The one that flew, you were falling down that giant hill, and he ripped your wings off.
The head, like that was the flashlight, man. That was a gangster.
And that's why, like, I can't get down on the story of 18 was better. Like, the story of 2 was amazing. Like, literally, you go through, you kill Ares in God of War 1, and you're like, they didn't touch Ares because he was a god. They like, look, we don't interfere with stuff like that. Like, we can't do that. And Ares was doing some really, like, mean stuff in 1.
Yeah.
But Zeus was like, yo, Kratos being too much.
Like, yeah, he's like Ares, I'll allow it. And then you just see how I love how they tied Hercules further into 3, because Hercules is like, oh, while you were being crowned the god of war, I was sent to fetch an apple. I was sent to kill the Nemean lion. I'm like, well, to be honest, I mean, he gave you some dope gear for killing the lion, but he's like, I want to be god of war. It's like, okay, but the moment that will always stand to me as one of the most like standout moments of that game is when you're fighting Kronos, and this man has you like this, and he can't crush you because you're strong. You're pushing this man back, and he's trying to crush you. That moment still was like, okay, where is that in 2018?
That was one of the most impressive things I ever seen at that time, bro. The size of that guy,
ripping his nails off and all this.
Yeah, if you want to get technical, all the God of Wars are masterpiece, man. Like,
what about Ascension?
Ascension was good.
It was good.
I'm not saying it was amazing.
I didn't finish Ascension for some reason though.
But like the thing what I like about it is just like they always went beyond every game. Like you sit there, you think you have a good story. Kratos and Zeus show up, and Zeus is pretty much like, you're doing too much and kills you with that sword.
Yeah.
Like, and then you come out, and I think you escape hell, and then you get sit there again in 3. Like, it's just like, it's such a good game, and that's why I get so annoyed when people put so much of a go on 18. 18 is amazing, but I'm sorry, 18
is amazing.
I think 18 doesn't beat 2 or 3. Like, it might beat 1. But it's
the
just
one
like,
thing that I remember about 18, and I didn't even cut you off, but the thing that it just we all remember, because it was like the only challenging part about the game was the Valkyries. The main thing we talk about is Valkyries in 2018.
Yeah.
When you go into God of War, 3, for example, everybody remembers your fight with damn Hades. Hades was a dope fight. There's a lot of stuff memorable. You fighting him in his own dimension. You take his soul. It's like, come on, where's
and
that?
The only memorable fight is the first and the last, and the dragon in 18. Fighting Ares was better than those fights to a lot of degree. Like, it's just like, look, like, I get it. We're gonna go ahead and end this because we definitely went way off track. I don't know. Like, I just get annoyed when the God of War stuff comes up and people don't want to give 3 its flowers. Like,
3 was fire, bro.
The 3 was.
But look,
3 had one of the dopest soundtracks, which just like outrageous.
Soundtrack. The start screen, his face. Man, that was fire. Now you guys know I'm a bot, right? You guys know that. But God of War is one of my favorite franchises. Actually, I was glad I was able to get a PS5 this summer because I assumed it was coming out this year, and I wanted to have a PS5 before Ragnarok come out.
Hey, yo, Griggity, you know you got goosebumps when you see his face, right? And the
Fire,
he
bro.
throws his play, right?
Yeah.
But then when you hit start screen, he goes, "My vengeance, it's
Fire, bro.
oh God, I just
it give you chill, bro.
You know, we might joke about good old David Jaffe a lot, man. We might
That's
we
the
might
GOAT,
clown
man.
on him and joke on him a little
Yeah.
bit, but
Love the
damn,
Jaffe.
he definitely made. He did. Was he in charge of 3?
2 and 1, if I remember correctly, but I think he oversaw 3 as well.
Well,
Oversaw.
he led the foundation that made 3.
Yeah.
Like without the reason that made 3 so fantastic is because there was no cliff notes. It was straight action 24/7 because of the foundation they built from 1 to 2 that made 3 so good. Because if they didn't do 1 and 2 the way they did, they couldn't have stayed in that epic, I'm going to beat everyone's ass 24/7. Like, literally, if you go back and you look at how the evolution happened in 3, Kratos was in the smoke 24/7. Like, Kratos was walking around killing everybody. He pop up a new god. That not only does he kill the god, he uses the god's abilities to kill the next god. Like,
yeah, right. That was, man, it's crazy.
It was so good, man. But, you know, Big Cloud, where can the people find you? I mean, what you got going on? We're going to end it. We'll talk about God of War all damn day. Where can people find you, Big Cloud?
Yeah, man, it was good to be on the show. I appreciate it. You guys can find me Big Cloud Gaming, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter every Friday. RGT podcast, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be going to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in September. But right now we're at 5 p.m. So that's where we at on my channel. We go over everything, and Addict's been on there a few times. We had Cognito on a few times as well. Come on through if you want to listen to the show, hear some gaming takes, and have some fun.
And then we got a $2 super chat from Amazing Nil. Good show, fellas. Appreciate this the support, man. Being very generous there. You know, and plus, you know, we got 192 people still rocking with us, man. Hit that like button. Let's try to get it to 150 before the end of the show. Dirt Griggity, man. What you might as well be a panelist at this point. I call you my rotating panelist. Like, so
I told you, man. If I can get here, I will get here, brother.
And one thing
my job.
Definitely go. You know, I was on his podcast last night. It was definitely. You know, what's funny is when you was doing some of those like integration things that was happening, like you would push a button and you guys couldn't hear me, but man, I was dying. Like I was dying when you was doing the PlayStation fanboy crying thing.
Yeah.
Is that pre-recorded or are you saying that?
No, that's me. Like the only thing that's pre-recorded is the video and the music, the little sad music. But all of the voice, all the dialogue, that's me live. I just kind of just make my little voice. You know, it's all fun, man. It's all fun. You know, we have a lot of fun over there. Like I said, PlayStation fanboys won't like my show because we do talk a lot of trash. But it's all in fun, man. It's all in fun. So yeah, check out the last episode. As Lord Addict said, he was a guest on there. We had a good show, man. It was a lot of fun. You know, we don't take stuff too serious over there. We just have fun. When we talk about gaming, we just have a good time over there. So check out the last episode. I'm gonna leave it in the chat. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's about it, man. I want to do content. I'm trying to find something to talk about. Can't find nothing to talk about, man.
It's dry in these streets, man. It's extremely dry.
It's definitely dry, bro. But thank you guys for stopping by.
Yeah, so it's like I said, definitely go over there and I don't know what's going on. So apparently Discord's it's messing up. But anyway. All right, so appreciate you for coming through, man. You can find me Lord Addict ILP on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube Gaming Addict. I'm probably going to start streaming on Twitch a lot more here. I know I keep saying that. I promise I'm really going to do it this time. I promise. But anyway, I appreciate everyone for coming through, man. It's like I said, we had a great show. It was a pretty entertaining time. And until next time, this Gaming Addict. We're out of here with Big Cloud and Dirt Griggity. Peace.
Yeah.
Do a video on the history of Zone. Stupid.
That's scary.